First rule of being the hotel inspector is never assume you've seen it all. That looks like the wall is extruding a poo. I'm Alex Polizzi, and I'm an award-winning hotelier. But it's Britain's worst hotels that give me sleepless nights.
Let me out! Just stop it! There's no point going on with this, is there?
Oh, my God.
I've seen the bizarre. We've got board full of boobs.
Ah!
The ridiculous. This is a very awkward little space. Do you like guests? And the downright ugly. It looks like a crack den. I always think I've scraped the bottom of the barrel. But I never quite have. I've brought countless hotels back from the brink. Hoteliers think they know what to expect from me. This time, I'm coming with a few new tricks up my sleeve. Alex Polizzi.
No, that's a surprise.
Alexia! That is a bad attitude, and you want to get out of it.
10 21-year-old Irish girls.
Coming tonight?
Yes,
You're
to
not
stay.
serious?
I am serious. I want to close the bear for business. I think you're a great mum. I just don't think you're a very good boss to them. I don't want to hear bitching and moaning.
I am out.
This time, gosh, it looks a bit miserable, doesn't it? An invisible hotel. It's a bit bland, isn't it, darling? With an owner in hiding.
I'm not the life and soul of the party type of person.
Engage.
Oh, crikey.
Oh, such a I'm on my way to Bude in Cornwall, which I happen to know a bit because my lovely sister-in-law and brother-in-law and their children live there. It's a charming place, and I'm really glad to be back in this neck of the woods. It's obviously good for tourists because there's 10 hotels and 44 B&Bs. Also, there's a 62-bedroom Premier Inn about to be built here. It'll be interesting to see why the Atlantic House Hotel isn't managing to ride the wave.
There's just no way as a child I would have imagined myself ending up running a hotel. You know, for someone who's as pathologically shy as me, from another planet, this existence, it's just not me at all.
Trevor Rounding has owned the Atlantic House Hotel for over a decade. Until this year, he was the silent partner.
My business partner and I bought the hotel in 2004. She's worked here for 10 years and basically wants her life back. So I'm going to buy her out.
Trevor's partner has left the business, and now it's down to him to keep the hotel afloat and take centre stage.
You know, as an engineer, a very sort of shy, retiring engineer, I hadn't really expected that. I'm going to have to take over the tasks that she normally does. Being front of house.
White, brown, or mixed?
Brown, please.
Okay, I'll just take those. Thanks very much.
There's some magic there which I don't seem to have, and I don't know what spells to cast.
I'm going to the Atlantic House Hotel. Tell me what you know about it, or if you know about it. I'm calling my sister-in-law for a spot of local insight.
He has no rapport. He just seems to hide away from the guests. He would rather hire in a waitress for money than actually serve the guests himself, which is madness.
Gosh. All right, Sarah, that is absolutely brilliant, darling. Thank you for the insider gossip. Oh, my gosh, a hotelier who doesn't like facing his guests again. This is my least favourite problem to deal with. It sounds like I'm going to have to really give him a pounding. Trevor's already taken a battering. In this part of Cornwall, hotel competition is fierce.
I think occupancy is not as good as it could be. We're only really full when Bude itself is full.
With spring just around the corner, Trevor's got no idea how to pull in the crowds.
It's this understanding of guests and what works is what I don't think I have. I just don't have an instinct for what will really appeal to other people.
Unless Trevor can work out what tourists want, his lifelong dream is under threat.
I've always wanted to live by the sea, and I love the rugged coastline here. It doesn't matter how hard the day is, if you go for a walk on the cliff tops, nothing else matters. I just want to make the business something that I'm really proud of, but also really works. I think if we can make the business succeed, then I don't want to sound over dramatic, but it would have made my life worthwhile.
The hotel business is all about people. And if you find it hard going, welcoming guests into your hotel, you should be asking yourself, am I in the right business? Trevor has asked for my help. He knows I'm coming. He just doesn't know it's today. I want to see how this reluctant hotelier deals with unexpected guests. Gosh, it looks a bit miserable, doesn't it? Jeez Louise. I mean, honestly, if I was coming here to stay as a leisure guest, I would not be best impressed with that facade. I'm here to surprise Trevor. But it looks like the surprise may be on me. It's locked. I can't get in. Hello? Hello? It seems the hotel is closed.
Doesn't particularly matter. It's probably somebody trying to sell me something.
Hello. Alex
Hello.
Polizzi.
Now that's a surprise.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very well, thanks. Are you?
Yes.
Good.
Not bad, thank you. I'm slightly disconcerted because I've never turned up before to a hotel that's been closed. Do you usually close in January?
It's probably the best time for us to close because there's not a lot of people around.
I've done a bit of research, and lots of the other hotels here are about 75% occupancy. I would like the hotel to have a few guests for me to see what it's like.
Mm-hmm. As long as I've got a day or two to do it.
No, I'm afraid not. I'm afraid I want to do it tonight.
Oh, right.
And I'm going to have to stay the night, aren't I? Can you
It
think?
looks like it, yeah.
Hey, look, your enthusiasm overwhelms me, sir. I'm at the Atlantic House Hotel in Bude to find out why owner Trevor Rounding is struggling to stand out from the crowd.
It's this understanding of guests and what works is what I don't think I have.
The hotel is currently closed, but I've got a surprise for Trevor. I would like the hotel to have a few guests.
When I've got somebody turning up and I don't know what room they're going in, that worries me, you know.
He took it quite well, quite calmly, I think. I would have burst into tears and run away if I'd been me meeting me for the first time. But I do need to see what kind of hotelier he is. So I'm going to put the call out and see who I can get to come to stay tonight to help me road test the Atlantic House Hotel. It's time to hit social media to see if I can persuade some of Bude's many visitors to try the hotel out right here and now.
Yeah, I just feel giving her a vacuum cleaner and dust. Yeah, we'll see. Right.
Tonight, I've filled 5 rooms with 10 guests, plus me, of course, so I can see just how Trevor runs his establishment. First, I want to give the rooms a once-over before the arrival of my road testers. God, well, this isn't bad, is it? The furniture could be updated a bit. It's slightly anonymous. Death by Pine. Very jazzy, as my daughter would say. But immaculately clean. The outside and the inside here really do not match. The outside, it looks like a crack den. And the inside looks, you know, decent, at least. It's not cutting edge, it's not clever. It's possibly just a bit anodyne. That's what I'm starting to see. But, I mean, the basics are all here. The problem here isn't an obvious one. I'm going to need to talk to Trevor. What bits do you like doing in a hotel and which bits don't you?
Oh, crikey.
How on earth did you get into this game?
Well, I'd always wanted to run my own business and always wanted to live by the coast.
Do you get to enjoy the coast and living by?
Around this time of year, maybe up till Easter, I can go for a walk, and I especially like going for a walk along the canal, seeing if I can photograph the kingfishers. Or
Extrovert? Would
Nope.
you I want to observe Trevor close up as he greets my 10 surprise guests, who are all here to spend the night and experience what he has to offer. Hello.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
there.
Hi there.
2 to check in, please.
Okay. Been a good journey?
Yes, thank you.
I want to say the inside's much better than the outside.
Breakfast is from 8:30 till 9:30.
He's obviously a very pleasant person, Trevor. He's just not particularly extrovert, I would say.
He seemed a bit like an awkward host as well. Didn't come naturally to him, bless him. I felt a bit sorry for him.
At such short notice, I'm not expecting Trevor to open up the hotel restaurant. But I do want my guests to enjoy the bar with Trevor in the role of host. Now it's up to him to show his kind of personality a bit more.
Oh, this is really nice, isn't it?
Hopefully he will be charming and warm.
How long have you been here?
It'll be 12 years in June.
All right.
So small, medium, or large.
Listen, we've got guests in there. Engage with them. They're on the charm.
If anybody needs the Wi-Fi code, I can give them that.
Was in that room?
He's a very nice man, but very little tact. You're by far the calmest, most organised hotelier that it's been my pleasure to eat in a while. But I would say that front of house theatre is not necessarily your strongest suite.
Theatre in any respect isn't
Yeah,
it's my
okay.
forte.
Okay, fine. Let's go in and do what we need to do with our guests. Hotels are a form of theatre. You're stage managing a performance. You're putting on a show for your guests.
I'm not the life and soul of the party type of person.
To meet this kind of diffident, rather charming owner, who I immediately really like, you know, he clearly needs help with an identity. You know, we live in an age of relentless self-promotion, and I'm afraid that that is the bit that seems to be lacking in him. Amazing view to wake up to. Slept so well last night. The problem clearly isn't location. The hotel overlooks the beach and is right on the coast path. Honestly, I haven't had such a good night's sleep for ages. The problem with the hotel is a lack of strong personality. And I'm not just talking about the owner. It is true that I've been in more characterful rooms. And this is slightly bland, slightly charmless. For For £90 a night for 2 people, Trevor offers bed and breakfast, which he cooks himself.
I'm quite okay at this.
I'm sure he's doing absolutely fine. I think that's the kind of challenge that he can handle very well. I'm going to go and help him because I'm sure he doesn't, on the other hand, want to make small talk with guests. And that's something I can do very easily.
Morning, Chef.
Good morning.
And it will also give me a chance to get the verdict on my guest stay at the hotel.
I mean, I think his decor's a bit odd.
Me too.
I'm not a massive
What,
fan
in
of this.
here?
Yeah, well, and that funny room there.
It was just... It wasn't kind of comfortable in the way that I thought.
Yeah.
You know, you didn't sort of cosy into it.
No. But I think in general, you could quite easily say that it doesn't really feel like a little hotel by the sea.
The only thing we could think of would be just to redecorate, maybe, just new paint or something, just to make it feel a bit more modern, maybe.
He's a very pleasant guy, but he's
Too
not...
nice.
He's not extrovert as he is.
No, you wouldn't put him as a hotelier, would you? He needs a bit of oomph.
I'm naturally very reserved in a very British way. I'm not sure whether my personal tastes are the right thing for attracting hotel guests.
He's a nice man. You know, I've really warmed to him. But I want the hotel to have more character. Identity is key, especially in a place like Bude where there's so much competition. It's essential that you know what you are, what you're doing, who you're trying to attract. I plan to help Trevor by dealing with the lack of character in the rooms. If you're willing, I would like to take the rooms that you've done the bathrooms with already, and I would like to finish them off for you, because I think that you've got so many elements right, and you just need a few things to really pull these rooms together. And again, it's just about colour and detail, something to enrich the experience. But outside, there's an even bigger job that I need Trevor to tackle. Your exterior is your shop front when you're a hotelier,
yes.
and it looks awful. It's a bit bland, isn't it, darling? And I know that you want to paint this white, but I think you're wrong. I think you should be painting it more that, one of the Cornish colours. A blue or a pink or yellow, something.
Well,
White
okay.
is very unforgiving.
It is, but it also makes the building look bigger.
But it doesn't need to look bigger. Why does it need to... People don't come along and go, oh, look, what a nice big building. That's not your thought when you arrive at a hotel. It's kind of fine, but fine isn't good enough in this environment. There's one feature of the hotel my guests missed out on, the restaurant, as it was closed last night. I've asked Chef Todd to come in to offer me a taste of his menu. You're going to cook something for me at lunch?
Yes, yeah. I'm going to do a Creole spiced hake with a clam chowder sauce.
Fantastic. Okay. 18 months ago, Trevor agreed to let Todd relocate his established and successful restaurant to the hotel.
There just seems to be a divide between the success of the restaurant and, you know, the way the hotel is. I don't really know why he chose to buy a hotel, but that's what that's what happened.
I definitely think there need to be some changes to the kind of ambiance. There has to be a kind of marriage between the food and the style of the way you're sitting.
I think so. There doesn't seem to be a marriage between the style of the hotel, the style of food I do. He doesn't seem to talk it up.
Yeah.
I don't know what's stopping him, to be honest with you.
Okay.
There you go.
Delicious, thank you.
Enjoy it.
Thanks. So good. I mean, the food is so full of flavour. Just delicious. I sometimes do have a problem with hotel restaurants, but then that's because most of the time they're not very good. When they are good, you've got to make the most of it. You've got to get hotel guests to dine in the restaurant, and you get diners to stay in your rooms. I'm slightly worried because the dining room and the food kind of pulls apart. I find it hard to understand how the whole thing hangs together. This room and the ambience and the food and the hotel. I think we need to try and join the strands, pipe the strands together. You guys are so missing out, and I'm not sharing it with anyone. I've seen enough. It's time to present my findings to Trevor. Well, I think you've done very well so far. I really do. We just now need to tie all those ends together and make the product a kind of a unified one. You need to make sure that there's communication between the hotel side and the restaurant side.
Yeah.
I would really encourage you to think about a way to make this room look more appropriate for the kind of food. Inject a bit of colour in here. I'd love to put some turquoise in here or some orange or, again, vibrancy, colour, because the food is so great. The only other thing I wanted to say to you is, you know, you might not be particularly ebullient, but you are charming, and customers like talking to you. And, you know, that is part of, you're the front of house man now.
I've always liked the confidence to think, well, I know what I like, but what do other people like?
Somehow you've got to encourage the place to do for you what you don't really do for yourself, which is sell itself. I think this place has such potential, and I really want to help it live up to that, and to help Trevor, who, you know, despite his unassuming facade, really has a passion for this place.
I've always had ambition for it, and I'll never be happy until I've done everything possible. You know, there's obviously a lot to do and little time to do it, but, you know, I'm up for it.
Which is just as well, because I've got more challenges planned for Trevor.
You know, Alex wants us to get some colour onto the outside.
I think so. Anything but magnolia.
I've got to get you to engage a bit more with your guests.
I don't like trying to do small talk.
How was that?
Not good.
Poor Trevor, the things you have to do. The Atlantic House Hotel in Bude is failing to stand out from the crowd.
I just don't have an instinct for what will really appeal to other people.
I really want to see him taking more ownership of the assets he already has in the business. That ownership starts outside. Trevor has put up scaffolding and is responding to my challenge to fix the dreadful exterior, hopefully with one of those Cornish blues or pinks.
You know, Alex wants us to get some colour onto the outside.
I think so. I mean, I think, yeah, you know, anything but magnolia.
Well, I would not go for magnolia.
Next, to give the hotel a much-needed personality, I've given Trevor a brief to unify his business and tie the restaurant to the hotel.
How to make the two work together is what's really puzzling me at the moment. The wallpaper is far too contrasty, and one of the colours was either coral or turquoise. That was a good trick.
That's the one I liked.
Valentine's Day is approaching, and I've got another surprise for Trevor.
We've apparently got some flowers. My goodness. Dearest Trevor and Todd, I hope business is booming at La Bouche Creole, and with Valentine's approaching, I thought it would be the perfect opportunity for you to work on your relationship.
I'm sure you'll be busy, but do give your diners an evening to remember. I look forward to hearing all about it. Love, Alex.
She looks forward to hearing all about it.
I want to see Trevor join forces with Todd, and what better occasion than Valentine's night? As well as food, it's about creating a front-of-house atmosphere, a skill Trevor has to master to make his hotel a success.
So she does want us to do something special for Valentine's Day. Crikey. That'll take some thought, because I'm the least of the great romantics.
I don't think it's going to be in his natural habitat at all. But sometimes, you got to force these things.
On Valentine's night, he really has to put out the stops. I can't be there myself, but I've got my spies going in, my lovely sister-in-law and her family.
Alex has asked us to go to the Atlantic House to have a Valentine's dinner, to be her eyes and ears.
It's time for Trevor to show as much confidence front of house as Todd shows in the kitchen.
You can use a little bit of a push. This side of it's fine. It needs to go out there and up there.
I like to get ready for service. I like to make sure it's ready because I can't relax unless it is. Just keep drying the cutlery.
Okay.
Once service starts, then I like to be able to hand over.
All good to go, Dave?
I'm the sort of person you turn to if you want something, if you need some help, but not necessarily the sort of life and soul of the party type for making people fluffy.
I don't know whether it'd be possible to
do a plain,
Brilliant.
plain fish, plain steak.
I don't like trying to do small talk. I never have been able to do that. I'm more of a matter-of-fact person.
My plan was for Trevor to lead from the front in creating his restaurant's romantic atmosphere. And not hide behind his staff. I've got cameras everywhere, even in my nephew's buttonhole, but still no sign of Trevor over the entire 2-hour meal.
Thank you very much.
Lovely.
I don't know if I would add to their enjoyment.
Yeah, thanks a lot. See
Thanks
you.
a lot.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Cheers, good night. Thank you.
Good night. Well, it was lovely. It's absolutely brilliant. The food is excellent. We didn't meet the manager. I think it would have really added something to it if he'd come out and had a little chat with us.
It'd be nice if he did sometimes.
Trevor's Valentine's night washout means I need to get tough if I'm ever going to drag him out of his shell and into the spotlight. So I've decided it's time to talk turkey. I've brought him here to London to engage with a guest, to be taught how to do it by one of the masters in the field.
It's a natural thing. You want to be in this business for a reason, and you have a natural flair, to look after someone.
This is the Mondrian London, one of the city's newest design-led hotels. It tries to stand out in the most competitive market in the country by focusing firmly on how staff interact with guests.
You can have a beautifully designed hotel, but if the guest experience is not there, it does not work.
Over Valentine's night dinner, I had my sister-in-law and brother-in-law come in, and they complained to me that they hadn't seen you once. So the reason I've invited you here is because I've got to get you to engage a bit more with your guests. I mean, the guest experience here, they do it in a very different way, and in a way that I think you might enjoy experiencing and seeing.
We treat our guests here as if they're coming to stay in your own home. The team members are encouraged just to be themselves and just let things naturally flow.
I'm not a natural conversationalist, so trying to be welcoming and chatting to people is not easy.
Okay, so just let's go and stand.
Trevor is going to learn Peter's insider tricks on how staff try to give each guest in the hotel's 359 rooms that personal touch.
One of the key things is the welcome. Big smiles, eye contact is important. Hi, can I help you with your bag?
Sure.
We've got a long journey today. Where did you come from?
Not too far, sorry.
You have to be a bit of a psychologist. You have to suss the guest out a little bit. See, are they business travellers? Do they look a bit tired and weary? What was the name under your reservation?
Crosby.
Crosby. The door team member will then mischievously try and find out the guest's name, and this is a very crucial list. And then we introduce the guest then to our reception team. It's Mr. Crosby coming to stay with us. Chris. Mr. Crosby. Okay. I'll leave you in the hands of Peter here.
Thank you
Enjoy
so
your
much.
stay with us. Okay.
Thank you.
Big smile, eye contact, and then let it, it just flows naturally.
Okay.
Okay.
This is not his shtick, is it? And the scale of this is completely different, but hopefully he'll learn something useful from it. I'm so anxious for Trevor, I literally feel gulp.
Hi, welcome to Laundry.
Yes,
Can I take your case?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, please.
You're staying here?
Oh, yes.
What name's the reservation?
My name is Mirella Kittori.
Mirella Kittori?
Yes.
That's a very unusual name.
He's doing really well, but it's just agony.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, such agony. Hello. He introduced her onto the reception team using her first name, which I'm sure is completely contrary to every instinct, every bone in his aching body.
Trevor, how did you feel there?
Clumsy.
Clumsy. Okay, practice makes perfect.
He said I felt clumsy. Next, one of the areas that is rather awkward always is transition moments. Specifically, in England at least, people tend to look at their feet and avoid making eye contact when in a lift together.
Hello. I'm just going to take you to our room.
Oh, fantastic.
I take the case.
Great.
We're in the closed door, confined space of the elevator. It's talking now, and we're picking up some tidbits about the guest and the guest stay, why they're here.
So how long are you staying in London?
Just for a night.
Just for a night?
Yes.
Up to you.
Oh, thank you.
So you're looking forward to doing some shopping and meeting your friends?
Don't we all? It's a great time to just go and splash out a bit on
Spend
yourself.
lots of money.
Yeah.
Poor Trevor, the things you have to do. How was that?
Not good.
Not good.
Well, there's a lot of trouble getting the lift to work, so by which time it's sort of completely thrown.
Dried up.
Yeah, I mean, it just wouldn't stop and open the door. No, those sort of things, you don't see them coming. It just...
No. The thing is, you've just got to stay calm and professional. And...
That's what makes it the fun part, hotel keeping.
I know, never a dull moment.
Never a dull moment, we like that.
Yeah. The whole ethos is what I really take away from it, you know, this idea of treating people like you and welcoming them into your home and smile and just treat them like they're your friends, basically. I don't know if I want to face any more such challenges, but, you know, that's another one ticked.
But Trevor still has his work cut out. Other hotels in Bude have found their niche, whether it's the surfing scene or the family crowd. Trevor still hasn't decided who his target market is. He moved here because he liked nature and birdwatching, and it seems obvious that he has to play to his strengths. The Atlantic is right on the southwest coast path, and with 2.2 million visitors a year coming to Cornwall to enjoy it, I really want Trevor to tap into that lucrative market. It's time to fill Trevor in on my grand plan for the hotel. I've been thinking a lot about what we could do that's different, what you could do that is true to you and that involves you welcoming the kind of people you'd be comfortable with. So we've talked to Ramblers associations. There's no other hotel in Bude that's majoring on the southwest coastal path. So I would like us to promote your hotel as the perfect place to come and stay, not just in the summer months, because we know you can be busy in the summer months, but people who like walking tend to use the shoulder months when it's not so hot. I've offered to make over 3 of Trevor's bland rooms. I want to inject colour and reflect Trevor's own interest in the coast and its wildlife. But I want Trevor to play his part too. So what I would like you to do is to create these kind of little pocket maps, but with this kind of information on it about Bude, the area, the walking trail. You need to make it a bit more personal, Trevor. And so that's the next challenge I'm throwing down to you.
I've always wanted to make the hotel somewhere I would want to stay. And, you know, going for walks on the coastal path is just the sort of thing I do. You know, I can understand that. I can relate to it.
But will Trevor be quite so keen when the crowds finally show up?
You know, for someone who's as pathologically shy as me,
I am slightly worried about his circulation. He's clenching his hands so tightly together. I've been working to bring the Atlantic House Hotel and its owner out of the shadows.
we're not the top rated, and I'm just not quite sure what it is the other places are doing that gets them so high up the pecking order.
We created a scheme for the hotel that puts Trevor's passion for the wildlife and nature found in the region front and centre. I'm back to see the results. When I suggested pink, I was thinking more of one of those Cornish pastels, but I'm really proud of him. First of all, it is a statement. In that town down there, they'll be pointing up and going, there's the Atlantic House, that big pink building up on the hill. I cannot believe the transformation.
Yeah.
I'm thrilled. It was absolutely a bold move. And,
it was. I mean, the pink, is that what you were expecting?
No, but I don't think that matters.
We have Z cards.
Which look, again, extremely smart.
They are extremely nice, yeah. Really,
oh, I'm glad.
Really neat.
Really neat. I mean, it's just very clever.
And we have some Ordnance Survey maps.
Great. So where are you going to make them available?
Put them in the rooms, probably.
That's wonderful. To show Trevor how to execute the nature lover's brief, I've taken on 3 of his bedrooms.
I haven't looked at what's been done at all. I've no real idea what it's going to look like.
The room I stayed in was characterless and lacking a unifying theme, but not anymore. So this is the room that I stayed in. New bedside tables, new chest of drawers, and obviously a very nice quality blanket.
Yeah. Yeah, even the little book of birds, that's the one that started me.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
The rooms were functional at best. Now I've added personality with some simple decorative objects to overhaul his rather bland decor. I think this is a lovely room.
These are all sort of touches which I could never have done myself. It just puts pressure on me to do all the other rooms.
Portrait, no rest for the good. Now I want to see the fruits of Trevor's labour. The restaurant was poles apart from the style of food offered, so I wanted him to visually tie the two together. Ooh la la, monsieur, monsieur!
So what do you think of that? Have I fulfilled the
my goodness gracious me. I think this looks amazing. I mean, it really is perfect. This and the outside and the... do you see? It's all starting to really hang together.
I'm really delighted with the way it all fits.
I think I have to congratulate you. Well done.
You. Yes.
Well done, young man. Until now, the Atlantic has failed to register on the tourist map. A book and a binocular in every room. Now I want to push the hotel as a nature lover's haven. I have a boot track for you. I've put out a call on social media advertising an open house for holidaymakers. I thought I'd come and say hello. Thank you very much for turning up today. The biggest test is for Trevor. He's got to convince our visitors that his is the go-to place for lovers of the great outdoors. I want him to make sure he talks to everybody and shows that he's a genial host, if perhaps a quiet one. Start talking to people, maybe.
Yeah, okay.
They're from the campsite next door. They're very unthreatening. Or you could start over here.
Thanks for coming. Are you going to try the jambalaya while you're here?
Yeah, definitely.
So are you happy with the changes so far?
Oh yeah, very happy. Yeah, I think it looks great. I think the outside looks great. We've got some proper signage, some lighting.
Trevor has arranged for local wildlife experts to show off the merits of the local area.
Hello, Trevor. How are you doing? Are you nervous?
Me?
We're really excited.
But now he's got to introduce them. I am slightly worried about his circulation. He's clenching his hands so tightly together.
You know, for someone who's as pathologically shy as me, it's been good forcing me to do things which I'd never have thought of doing.
Oh, you're the owner of the hotel?
I am, yes. You'd say it stretched me.
Trevor, come here, please. This is Trevor, who is the owner of the Atlantic House Hotel. I shall leave it up to you.
Hello, thanks very much for coming. I've always been keen in wildlife and walking, and I think it's a tremendous shame if people come and visit Bude and don't look beyond the beach. I think if they stop in the car park and just look at the sand and the sea, that's great, but if they turn round and look at the wildlife and the walking, that's even better.
Full of marine fossils.
He's really stepped up to the plate. He's introduced the speakers very well.
It is my enthusiasm, you know, whenever I can, I go for a walk along the canal or on the cliff tops and take my camera and,
that's it.
You know, it's where you forget everything, nothing else matters.
He just needed that little push from you. And, the momentum's there now, and I think he will carry it on. And the fact that it does look good, he can be proud to say, this is my establishment.
I went into this wanting to get the best out of Alex's advice. There had to be a turning point this year for all sorts of reasons, not least the increasing competition. And so I wanted a turning point, and I think we've achieved it.
I keep going on about how shy I am, and it is something that's dogged me all my life. So you wouldn't expect me to find the most rewarding thing about being here is the people I meet, but it is, you know.
I do think that, you're actually a very good, genuine, genial host. And I hope you enjoy that part of things more. I'm incredibly fond of Trevor. He's a nice man. And this is a testament to how hard he's prepared to work to achieve his dreams.
And the new hotel inspector returns same time next week. Next tonight, which housemate is brave enough to take some prize money and kick someone out? Someone will be leaving in Big Brother Annihilation.